Here's Rick and Kerri Roberson, Elite Senior Presidents and Directors.
Woo! Load it up. Y'all have your own?
I got it?
Yeah, how about those guys? Outstanding, outstanding. Great business mentors for 25 years for Kerri and I. Sorry, let me get all that stuff together. Great business mentors for us for 25 years. They're incredible. Can't say enough good things about Danny and Diane, so outstanding. Steve and Gina, thank you for putting the money down, putting these events together. I don't have enough good things to say about you, brother. But you know one thing, before I get started, I don't know what Kerri's doing, but I want to honor this woman right here. A lot of you guys know her. Speaker, author, pastor, lover, all that good stuff. Friend. So I honor you. I love you.
Thank you.
So, 25 years ago, Kerri and I heard John Maxwell come into our conference and start talking about, he was talking about personal development, right? And the first thing he said was, hey, I'm John, and I'm your friend, but we're going to have to talk about personal development, okay? So don't get mad. I'm your friend. I'm Rick, and this is Kerri, and we love you, but I can tell you what's fixing to happen. I can tell you that nobody has ever done anything great in life, and I read about just about everybody who's ever done anything spectacular or great. Nobody's ever done anything like that without paying the price, okay? And it's the same thing here with your business. Is you're not going to be able to be a legend in this industry without paying the price and going through a lot of growth. I've been here for 2.5 years. We've been here for 2.5 years. I've seen Steve and Gina, and they were already making a pile of money when we got here. But I can tell you right now, these two folks have went through a ton of personal growth since I've been here. And I can see it. You guys can see it. They're incredible people. We love you. But, yeah, give them a hand. They're awesome. They're awesome. They put this whole thing on for us, only for us. Not for their benefit, for our benefit. So, yes, we love you. But, I was talking about this woman right here, and I could just remember. We have the picture up? Did you flick it? Yeah. Yeah, that was 1999 right there. I don't know if y'all could follow those people or not, but anyways. But I can remember, we've been through a lot of personal growth ourselves, but I can remember at our wedding, while I was shooting whiskey with her brother and on my wedding party in the back, sorry, Lord, I went in and I said, hey, I got to see Kerri. Said, well, you can't see her. I said, I don't care. I got to see her. Bring her out here. And I got her out there, and I just said, you know what? We're going to do something great. I'm not sure what it is. I'm not sure what it's going to be, and you're going to make me a millionaire one of these days.
True story.
Even though we didn't have 2 pennies to rub together, trust me. But the one thing we always had was faith in God. We always knew that God had his hands on our life and everything that we were going to do then, now and forever. So, and the thing is too, at our wedding, the pastor, we had all kinds of problems, right? I had to move because I didn't have choices, because I had to work. I was working 14 hours a day at a freight dock, but I didn't have to. We had to move our wedding date because I had to work. So because we had to do that, we had to change pastors, okay? We had to get her pastor that she grew up with, which was a prophetic thing in itself. Because as we're at our wedding, Pastor Dan's sitting there talking to say, hey, look around. And it was a little bit uncomfortable because he was talking straight at us with all our wedding party there. And he says, hey, look around. You see a lot of these people that are here with you today, they're not coming on your journey. They're not going to be with you. And we're both kind of looking at each other going, whew, okay. And we've always, since day one, since Danny and Diane and Debbie, and since we got started in this business, we had a big vision. You know why? Because Danny had a big vision. Danny McDaniel is one of the best purveyors of vision that I've ever been around in my life. And all I knew was What he was talking about, I wanted some of that. The way he was living life, I wanted that. I wanted all the choices that he had, right? But we also learned pretty quick going through in our business, we learned pretty quick that not everybody's going to be coming your way, and not everybody's going to like your vision, right? Even some of your family and some of your closest friends. And I just, you think about Joseph, his brothers, he told his brothers what his vision was. They tried to kill him, right? And then they sold him off. But Joseph always had faith in God, knew that God had control of his life, and was always working on himself and trying to be better. And what happened with Joseph? You guys know the story of Joseph. He ended up second in command in Egypt while everybody was dying and in a famine back where he came from. So God always has his hand on your business. Don't ever forget that. That's right, because he was always obedient to God. That's one of the main things you got to learn here. His obedience is what caused his success. So, and it just going through this deal. How about the Code of Creation the other day? Did you guys like that movie? Was that incredible? Look, that confirmed two things for me, about David Schmidt. One is he's a God-fearing man. And number two is his inspiration comes from two things, okay? The Holy Bible and his relationship with Jesus Christ. So you're in the right place, at the right company, at the right time, and it's time to go.
So true. So true. Well, and I think back to how uncomfortable that moment was in our wedding, because it was really awkward. I mean, he didn't just say it once. He took 3 to 5 minutes to explain how none of your friends are going with you in life. And so we didn't, of course, know what life looked like. I mean, he had the gift of prophecy over me at the altar before the wedding. And then, we start going through this journey, and of course, we got married in May, and we literally were introduced to that company in December, and everything. It was that moment where I literally heard the Lord say, the test was for the testimony. And I'm telling you, my life changed instantaneously that day. And that girl right there was sick, because I believed what people told me. And some of you have been believing what others have said to you or spoken over you. And I've got to tell you, the truth is that you've got to get a new belief system, because maybe you've agreed to something. You've got a foundational agreement that you are never going to be more than you currently are. You're going to be defined by your past and your family's generational legacy. And I'm telling you, a generational legacy can run as long as it wants to until someone says, you ran into me. And you can change things, but you've got to change. See, you have to be the one that goes through that personal development. And so when I looked around, all of a sudden, there was no one in our life that was there before. Now, we did our best. We loved those people. We tried to share things with them, but the truth is that they were not assigned to us. And that's hard to say, because just a few months ago, we lost one of them, 51 years old. Now, did we have the health answers all along for the past 26 years? Yes, we did. See, because it didn't take me long, within 7 months, because I changed here. See, that's what I heard in the beginning. It was who you become in the pursuit of the things you want in life is what matters most. And so we knew we were going to work harder on ourselves than anything else. We had to find freedom in all things. And so you have to just declare and decide that my future is going to be written the way I want it to be, not the way somebody said. Because listen, I had teachers that spoke negative things over me. We probably all have. We've had family that told us it wasn't going to work. Your uncle tried one of those things one time. I mean, has anybody ever been told it's not going to work? Yeah. Okay, so I'm not alone up here. But the truth is that, you know what? I mean, it goes back to, what are you going to do? Because I knew in life, I had one job. Listen, one job. I learned real quickly I am not an employee. Gina's laughing, but I was a manicurist. And as soon as I got out of cosmetology, I went to work at JCPenney's salon, and that lady gave me my schedule and told me I would work every Tuesday night, every Thursday, and every Saturday. And I said, I'm not. And she goes, oh, yeah, you are, because you're the youngest. It's called seniority. And I said, it's called until I can get enough money to buy supplies. That's what I said to myself. And I'm telling you, just about 2.5 months later, I was out on my own, and I never looked back. I opened a salon. I was very successful. I loved what I did. I was the cheapest therapist in town. But you know what happened was my life was interrupted. That led to a major back surgery. And then I began to believe those truths, that I was never going to do certain things. I would never be able to run and walk and play tennis and all the things like I'd once done as an athlete. I would never be able to do that. Then I got another set of health challenges. They told me I would never conceive another child. You know, all these things. Well, she's 25 and she's sitting right here. You decide. Don't let others tell you. But as you go through this personal growth journey, I'm just going to tell you, it really comes down to you. Because here's what I know is life leaves clues. And successful people are willing to show you what they've done. But you've got to take action. And so it's the books you read. And you know what? The Book of the Month Club, it's not just a, hey, we think these might work. It's books that we collaborate on. It's books that we read. It's books that take us to the next level. And yet I was an author for the Book of the Month Club, and I know about how many of you don't order books. I'm just going to be real, right? Because it's the truth is that if you won't take action, then nothing changes. And so that personal development, there's too many resources out there available to you through books, through podcasts, but you've got to choose to embrace them. Every single morning, we go on a walk and we listen to a podcast. Every day we read. Every day we have our quiet time. Those are things that are non-negotiables, right? You've got to decide what are yours because you've got to be able to go to the next level. And then I'm going to say one more thing before I hand it back to you. You know, when I think about personal growth, here's the thing is that, you know, I once heard CEOs read on average a book a week. And so I did a podcast the other day and I showed the 52 books that I have read this year, and we're just now entering the last quarter. And people will say to me, Kerri, I don't know how your business is growing. Okay, well, I recommend, did you read that book I recommended? Did you read the Book of the Month? Are you following the system? Right? It's not hard, but you've got to be responsible and you've got to take ownership and action. And the truth is for some of you, it's just a simple decision. But I remember when I got here, and I knew in my heart, once again, just like I heard that girl heard, I heard another voice. This is it. I literally heard those words. Rick walked into the office and he goes, what does it look like? And I go, this is it. Now, This Is It team had not yet formed the name This Is It. And he goes, what do you mean? And I said, we're about to earn millions. And it won't take us 10 to 20 years like it did the first time, Rick. I'm telling you within the first 2 years. And the reason I'm telling you, when you know that you know that you know, but you know what I did? I picked up the phone and I called. And I said, Steve Merritt, you don't know me. I've been incredibly successful in this industry. And I said, but I'm telling you, this is it, right? Like I know, and I go, but I've never built a binary, so tell me what to do, sir. See, that's personal development number one. When you can follow leaders, you'll become a leader. You've got to know our system works and we work it and it's proven. But too many of you are trying to do your own things. And I'm telling you, you're messing up. You've got to just say, it's the system. And I am so boring with my copy and paste, but how many of you here have gotten my copy and paste message? Yeah, I do it every day. It's the same thing, and it's been that same thing for 2.5 years. But you know what it did? It got us there, just like I knew it would.
That's right. Yeah, we didn't really know a binary, so we ran in Steve's vision. We called Steve and Gina. Of course, Gina's your inspiration, I know that. But we ran in their vision. You know, we didn't have a vision yet. All we knew was we were going to make millions, and we needed Steve to teach us how to do it. Yep. And what did he do? 20 left, 20 right, don't stop, keep rolling. And that's what we're doing now. So, you know, I know some of you are sitting back there going, man, if I ever get this thing to $1 million, if I ever make $1 million here, I'm done. I'm done.
You're just getting started.
These guys they probably feel like they barely just got started. So just know that. Flick it to the next one. So, you know, it's a simple illustration here, but, you know, it's what happens. You know, so you look at the caterpillar. The caterpillar was a butterfly the whole time, right? It's not another species of insect. That caterpillar was a monarch butterfly the whole time. Okay, but what was the process to take him from that to the beautiful butterfly, right? What did he have to do? He had to come out, he had to get in a dangerous world and consume all kinds of good things to get ready for the metamorphosis, right? And it's kind of the same thing Kerri and I have been telling you. You know, what are you consuming? Or what kind of good things are you consuming in your inputs each and every day? Because those are super important. You know, we listen to so many podcasts, so many good things each and every day, because you have to put good stuff in if you want good stuff to come out. If you want to attract people, you have to be attractive. I know that's a simple concept, but it's the truth. Okay? And I love what, and sometimes it's scary. Did you guys like Allison Levine, the mountain climber? Was she incredible? Oh my gosh, Kerri met her outside and they talked, and man, she is an incredible woman. But if you don't take any notes from today, I want you to take this down. Fear is healthy, okay? It's a healthy response. Complacency will kill you. Write that down, because man, she said so many things and I got so many notes, but man, that really hit me pretty hard. Get moving and super fast. I mean, time's the essence here, guys. You got to get moving on your business. You got to get moving on your personal development. You got to get moving on all that. And hey, look, the destination, you can't get to the you know how you get to a destination? You got to ride the train. So make sure you enjoy the journey and work hard.
God bless y'all.
Love you.